You answered the call. Welcome to the Call to Arms podcast with Bartender Dave and Danny Williams. New episodes every Thursday. Visit calltoarmspodcast.com and follow us on Twitter at calltoarmspod. And now, on to the show.
Well, my friends, like a phoenix rising from the ashes of its charred and smoldering previous incarnation, I, Bartender Dave, stand before you a new man with new hopes, dreams, and aspirations. As you probably know, I was part of the law crew way back when. I did What's Next with my good friends back then, and now we are pushing forward into something new. New horizons, new...
Beginnings,
new worlds to conquer.
new ideas.
I like that. Ideas.
New worlds to eat and delete.
Yes, delete. Marvelous.
Yes.
Marvelous. How about yourself?
Yeah. I'm just Danny Williams over here, and I'm going to be basically the moderator and the, I would say the host, and Dave is going to be the talent. So I'll be the booker, and Dave will be the talent.
I don't know about talent, but I guess I've been called worse.
So I guess what we want to let everyone know for this first time out is what they're going to expect from the Call to Arms podcast.
Yes.
And it should be fairly simple, but at least very interesting for everybody, including ourselves, right?
Yes. Yeah, of course. It's been interesting so far, that's for sure.
Oh, God, yes. Lady Technology, you ignorant slut.
Yes, I would probably agree with you on that one.
So what we want to let everyone know is what to look forward to in this podcast. And it's not going to be, far too different. We're not going to be doing magic tricks over the damn thing, but at least we want to keep things familiar, but also a bit more positive and a bit more, based off dignity and not too much on rumor and innuendo.
Yeah, I think that's you hit the nail right on the head, if you will. It's like I wanted to. I don't know how to put this. I wanted to, like you said, I wanted to be a positive show. I wanted to be uplifting and to bring the fun back into the wrestling industry, which has gotten really negative lately, or at least that I've found. I don't know if you guys are the same way, but I'm not saying that we're not going to call a garbage angle, but I don't want Call to Arms to become one of those hundreds of other shows that just crap on everything just to be able to crap on everything. If you're familiar with my work, I try to stay positive and be a positive individual, and that truly enjoys wrestling as a whole. And I really do love to see an angle through before I judge it. I love to see growth and watch competitors develop their characters, their movesets, their in-ring psychology. I love good storytelling, and I want to bring that positive energy back, because I've gotten to a point in my life where I want to be happy. I want to smile. I spent 40 years of my life just being a grumpy old man, even when I was in my 20s. But
you and me both, man. Yeah, I'm still working on getting out of that part, but things like this do make me happy. And I think the one thing that we would like to at least differentiate from everyone else is not to be kind of hung up on the he said she said bullshit of and the latest, the rumors and again innuendo. And basically I think the word that you used before, the term that you used before, was journalistic approach.
Yes,
and
exactly.
That's basically what has happened in the wrestling world, and to discuss, and not wonder about if Rich Swann's going to get off his arrest charge to come back next week, because we don't give a fuck about that. Yeah. We want to talk about things that have had happen, and how that is going to affect the viewer, the product, and basically the whole sport of itself. So we don't want to toil in such garbageness. So having said that, we want to talk about breaking news, not rumors. We would like to review. And we want to kind of not do a whole show review on everything that has happened, but maybe the larger angles that have interested us, or the gimmicks, or a new wrestler, or anything that has happened in the WWE, in NXT, and if it provides New Japan, ROH, We want to also, if there's anything happening in Impact, if there's something that's happening in any other, maybe not CCW, but anything that at least is happening that's interesting to us and all federations. It doesn't have to be strictly the Fed or NXT, but we like to focus on what's popular. And, New Japan right now is gaining a lot of momentum. So we'd like to focus on that wonderful Kenny Omega Jericho angle that's happening, and Wrestle Kingdom coming up as well. So it's going to be kind of whatever, again, not match by match reviews, just more or less an overall broad stroke of what's happening in the industry.
Yeah, exactly. I like the sound of that. And just like you said, hit on anything that's got a little bit of buzz to it. There's so much out there. There's so much talent. There's so many, like the whole all kinds of indie federations that are really picking up steam. And I love wrestling, and I want to talk about it.
I want to stick to things that interest us, and if we're interested in it, then I'm pretty sure other people are going to be as well.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of growing pains in this, and it's starting something new, and just have fun with it.
Yeah, and everyone listening to this right now, this is us doing this for the first time, as a proper recorded podcast. We've talked wrestling for years, and our flow is going to, be a little bit of a growing pain, and we'll catch that flow, and it'll be like second nature where, we're not trying to talk over one another and stumbling and bumbling. It's going to be, a bit of an adventure for ourselves, but I think we got the chops to pull it off. So please bear in mind that we're also, we're hitting the ground running, as they say.
Yeah, like you said, it's been a long time coming. We've known each other for many years, and we've been talking about doing a show for probably the same amount of time, I'd say. And it's been a while since I've done a show, and it's been since I think it was October 30th that the law went on quote unquote hiatus. So I've been bored and tired of waiting, and this has given me like the kick in the ass, and you the kick in the ass, that we can actually finally come together, because I think that we've got a great rapport, and I can't wait to see what happens.
Next, we're going to also be trying to get reports from Destiny, right?
Yeah,
why don't you go ahead and talk about that?
Yeah, I've really fallen in love with it's a smaller promotion right here in Toronto, or in the GTA. It's Destiny World Wrestling, and it's run by it's one of the brainchild of Santino Marella, as you know, but I've known him as Anthony Corelli. We were high school comrades, if you will. Okay. And I've been going to their live shows. They're getting some really great talent in there, and like their champion right now is Pete Dunne, and it's a really good thing. And I just want to give them a little bit of a shout out whenever we get to go to the shows and that. So the family loves it.
Support the local federations, and we got to take care. We got to do our part to make sure that it has some recognition, at least some ears on it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So
we want to do. So we have the Destiny Live Report. There's going to be a concept I think we're going to try to do once a month, and it's called the Blind Tag.
Yes.
And what I would like to do is start off with a few. Okay, sorry. Let me go back on that.
Yeah.
So I want to do a concept called the Blind Tag. And basically what that means is one person is going to watch a show, either it be a pay-per-view, or it could be even a match. It could even be an episode of Raw. It could be just whatever chunk of an event in wrestling that has happened, and they have to have never seen it before, right, and the other person has. So then we both come back and then basically do a review and a bit of a chinwag of what that person has seen for the first time. And usually I would like to dip in the bag of old WCW, because you hadn't watched a lot of that back in the day.
No, I didn't. I didn't follow it at all until I got the
network.
The WWE network. $9.99, my friends, or $11.99.
I was going to say Canada.
If you're in Canada.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I think that'd be interesting, and that can be WCW, which I'm well versed in. I was a mark for WCW and WWF for sure, but I at that time I was more so into WCW than most people were, just because I was obsessed with wrestling, period. I had my friend living in Peoria, Illinois, sending me emails through my Hotmail account for Nitro and Raw results. So on Tuesday morning, I could fucking know what the hell was going on Nitro, because Raw was usually on, if it wasn't delayed for the Scott Turner of the Hearts or the fucking Dog Show or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I used to rage when that, I remember specifically, getting really, really, really mad and like punching a wall when I figured out that it was like the Scott Tournament of Hearts would be on, and it was
Yes.
like a really eventful Raw that was happening. And
That's curling for everybody that doesn't know the Scott Tournament of
I'm
Hearts.
sorry, that's very regional. That's curling. Yes, nothing like watching like something as exciting as watching flies fuck
Yeah.
than seeing Raw when in 1998. You know what I mean? So, and I'm not to hate on curling.
No,
I
definitely not.
played it, and people who I understand it's fun. I don't want to watch it, and when I'm missing McMahon versus Austin in '98, I got problems.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's better than a dog show, that's for sure.
yeah. So we might be covering, to go back to the blind tag concept. It's going to be basically one person is going to be blind going into watching something the other person has already watched, and then we review together. And hopefully it's going to be something that's completely the other person either finds awesome or they completely hate. So it would be, we can do ECW, we can do anything.
ROH. I got a bunch of stuff on ROH that you'll love.
Good. Yeah, I got a couple DVDs kicking around here that I should actually throw your DVDs. Like, I don't know if you still have a DVD player,
Oh,
but
of course I do.
okay, good. Good. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the concept of that. So maybe once a month we can sprinkle that in as just kind of a bonus show,
Right.
something like that, if people want to listen to us talk more. And then of course we'll be doing stuff from like our fantasy bookings, maybe on the Big Four or at something like Wrestle Kingdom or anything that we would see, like angles that are happening and maybe what to do 4 months down the road. I don't mean like, it's a month out and then we do the Rumble. It's like maybe what's going to happen by Mania and then SummerSlam. And then we just do a little bit of sprinkling on where we think the maybe the booking should go or what we'd like to see. Not should, but what we'd like to see.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I know it sounds a bit more like Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales right now, but we're going to figure something out here.
And it's going to be way better than Vince can do. Okay, yeah. We're not going to whinge about any of that. Just see what will happen, then see what happens. I don't know. That we can like do a little like a poll and a review and see how off we were, and then laugh at ourselves of how stupid that we are.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
how
exactly.
yeah. And then we're going to do a little bit of a segment. It's the Bartender Dave segment, which is basically the thumbs up, thumbs down on either would it be the show, an angle, a gimmick, a wrestler, or anything that we were reviewing earlier on. And it's a thumbs up, thumbs down. It's cut them off for thumbs down, or one in the house, which is a thumbs up. So Dave will give his little insight of how he felt in particular the subject is going to be, and he shall give his input on it and let them know if they get to keep on drinking or if they get kicked out of their ass outside the bar.
It's something I have to do at least once a night.
Very true. I've seen it happen, and you do it with such grace.
I thank you very much. I've been doing it for a while, so I don't like to make anybody feel bad about themselves.
Yeah. The best part is when people try to get a little bit froggy and then they have 18 people stand up around them they have no idea that you're friends with.
Yeah, exactly. You got to love that. Yeah, but it's like we're going to be growing. We're going to be trying new things. But I think the main thing about Call to Arms is I want happiness. I want fun, just to have a good time.
It's a celebration of being a wrestling fan.
Exactly, and there's not enough of that. Like a lot of people, like you, it's one of those things that for years I would never talk about, and I'm sure that you all listening are the exact same way. When there's a time and a place, and you just get tired of all the naysayers of it's fake, that kind of crap.
Yeah.
Like this is where we can come together as wrestling fans and show our support, show our love for each other and for the product. On a whole. So is
Sure.
it on a whole, as a whole, in
As a whole, in the whole, ass on a, I don't know. Yeah, there's a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deleted.
Delete. Have you noticed that it's slowly becoming a lot more acceptable, or at least more cooler? More cooler. It's become cooler these days. Like in our demographic, I found like people that were my age who used to hate it are all thinking like these nostalgia glasses are all on now, and they're starting to like, oh, I remember that, and it doesn't seem it doesn't seem as nerdy as it used to be, and so niche. It's becoming a bit cool again to reference wrestling. Like Ric Flair is now everywhere again.
Oh yeah, with the 30 for 30. Yeah.
That, and even before, I mean, like in the last, like, I want to say like 3 years, I've noticed it's kind of more acceptable to like wrestling again in public. Like, even like with kind of look back at it a bit more lovingly, I find like nowadays it seems to be like, it seems to be cooler
Yeah.
to remember to like wrestling. Does that make sense? I
Oh yeah,
babble.
without a doubt. And like I've like being a wrestling fan since I was 8 years old, and now I'm 43. You see a lot of it coming up, and it's the I'd like to think that it's because of geek culture is becoming
Yes,
such a mainstream thing now. Like every
that's what it
second
is.
movie is a superhero movie. There's everybody's what do you call it, the when you dress up as your
Cosplay.
cosplay is like the biggest thing right now, so it's becoming more accepted. Like I remember bartending like 10, 15 years ago, and you even say something about wrestling, it's like you
Oh,
said, it's like, oh god, really, blah blah. But now like you bring it up, and like a lot more people are coming out as, oh yeah, I did used to watch during the Attitude Era. Oh, what's going on with that, blah blah blah.
and appreciate it for what, like, it was like, yeah, you know what, that was actually pretty fucking cool. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, it's okay, guys. Like, you know, like, you can talk about it.
Yeah, no, I totally see what you're saying, and like uh, it's more based, I find, more now on the actual quote unquote sport of the whole thing, and it's
Mm.
not as ridiculous as the 80s were with the colors and the characters, or based on like the during the Attitude Era with the craziness and the shock and awe. It's more of a beautiful dance now, if you will,
Yeah.
and it's
You know,
it's it's something great, and I think it's being appreciated properly now.
right. And then the things that I think that break the pop culture is the color, the rock and wrestling stuff. Like, I don't know if you've ever like like seen like just Halloween parties these days, and you can see a chick who's like 24 dressed up as Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like, and it's all coming back now, like where it's like it's celebrated more as being as awesome as it is,
Yes.
like, or it was, I guess, for those, for that time of like, it's the big ostentatious presentation, and the wasn't, we're not worried about work rate. We're basically just the colors and the characters and how revered that these legends are, who unfortunately aren't around as anymore,
Yes. Oh God, yeah.
but how celebrated that they are now, and it's cool to like old school wrestling again.
Yeah, and it's there's new generations popping up all the time. Like you look at my kids are 8 and 5, and they're both obsessed with it right now. They love it, and they see it for what it is. Like my oldest son Dustin is still, his favorite is The Rock, but now it's, or sorry, Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. He loves them just because of all the old stuff that I have here, the old DVDs and all the books and everything, and he's gone through it all. But now
Right.
he's even turned on, his favorite right now is AJ Styles. He loves AJ
Good.
Styles. He loves Seth Rollins. So it's just it's beautiful to watch. I don't want to say ruining a life, but opening.
Directing it in a certain way. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, I sound like a horrible father right now.
No, it's a wonderful father. I wish you were my dad.
Oh.
What was he getting? Oh, did they ever talk about, because he's young? Did they ever talk about wanting to be like getting into wrestling?
Yes, yeah, definitely. He wants to. We've talked about it a couple of times. He wants to get into like a jujitsu to start out, and
Interesting.
and
Get his
move on
conditioning
into-
down.
Well, exactly. You know, like because he's done gymnastics for years, so he knows he's got a good balance to himself, and he's a big kid. Like he's 8 years old, and he's got to be like. He's almost as tall as my wife, who's 5'2", so he's got to be about a good 5 feet almost. And
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
Like he's wearing like size 14. Kid's 14.
What?
Yeah, it's massive.
We're gonna get the next Braun Strowman.
I know. Well, that's what he keeps on doing whenever he walks in the room. He's like, Braun! And I'm like, okay,
Oh my
settle
God.
down, settle down.
Yeah, before he choke slams you through the
Exactly.
table.
Well, I think it was one or the other, because my wife's 5'2", I'm 6'3", so.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know what? That's Jesus. Yeah, that's right. I remember I had a very, very like serious conversation with my buddy Rick years ago that we're going to join a wrestling school when we turned 16, and we just never did it.
Yeah.
I really wish. I don't know if I wish I did it, but it would have been an interesting, different life, I guess, at some point.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. My sister used to get so pissed off at me for always saying, "Oh, I'm going to be a wrestler," or telling the family at Christmas dinner, "Oh, I'm going to be a wrestler this year. I'm gonna join Ron Hutchinson Gym downtown, and I'm going to be the next big thing." And then I just make another cheeseburger and.
I know. Exactly. Well, I was the same way. I was a heavy kid too. I was an athletic kid, but I got really heavy in high school too. We talked about that. We shared
Yeah.
that kind of same thing. And then outside forces of kind of like change your direction kind of stuff. And I went more into the arts, and the rest is history. But at least it's good to come back and kind of fulfill some sort of involvement with it down the road, right?
Oh, without a doubt. Like this is it's seriously, it's like living a dream for me. I've just loved it. Like you think about, I've been a wrestling fan since I was 8 years old, just absolutely obsessed to like crazy degrees. And I've been a bartender for 22 years. So it's like I talk for a living. I love wrestling, so why not talk about wrestling? This is great. Like this is
what you're good at.
This is awesome. I love doing this. This is one of my favorite things to do. And my wife knew it, like, because I haven't done anything for a couple of months now, and she can see it. She's like, "Oh, you got to get something going on. You got to do a show or something, because you were so much happier. You're so much easier to be around. And now we've done this, and we've got an outlet now. I can be happy again, my friends."
I know. Yeah, exactly. You can only jerk off so much.
Amen to that. Christ.
So yeah, I was gonna just move into stuff just to kind of go over a few things that have just happened recently.
Yeah.
Did you watch the whole Jericho Omega thing that happened last night?
No, what was that? I saw something about it on Twitter.
Oh my God, it was so beautiful. So at the World Tag League Finals, New Japan yesterday.
Right.
What's it called? Kenny Omega's left in the ring, and because the Bucks and him had won a 6-man tag before the finals, and he's doing his regular pose,
Yeah.
and lights go out, and there's the countdown, and then Jericho cuts a small little promo saying, "Hey, what are you gonna do?" Like blah blah blah, and the lights go out again, and then lights go on, and Jericho's standing right behind him in fucking Japan.
Oh my God, how have I not seen this yet?
You got to watch the video, and Jericho beats the living fuck out of him, where he bladed in New Japan, which doesn't happen at all, like pretty much. So he juiced up Kenny super hard, belted him with the Kenny's belt, and then code breakered him. And to see a code breaker taken by Omega and without a fucking jump shot and a zoom by Kevin Dunn on it is fucking wonderful to see.
Oh, I love it.
So Jericho, the heel dude, he rubbed his hands all over his bloody face. He wiped Kenny's blood all over his face, all over the belt, and then goes to leave the ring when the Young Bucks come in with a bat. Right. And then what's it called? Before that happens, I'm sorry, Don Callis, Cyrus, comes in. He code breakers him. And then the Bucks,
can he still take a good bump?
Yes, he can. He took it. I would dare. It's different than Omega's, but he took it the way you take it in WWE. Like you drop like a stunner.
Oh, gotcha.
To your knees and flies back and still take it. And Jericho basically just looked like a complete tenacious asshole. And then the Bucks came with the bat. He rolled out like to get a bit more heat and just giving the finger to the fans and telling them that they're idiots and fuck you and all this shit. It was awesome. Jericho right now is just different level, and he's got they're promoting it's the Alpha versus Omega, right?
Yes,
he's the Alpha in whatever, and he's got an Alpha Club shirt on now. It's like a Bullet Club shirt.
That's what I saw. I saw a picture of that this morning on Twitter.
Yeah, it was wonderful, man. Like right, I'm so excited for Wrestle Kingdom. I can't wait.
Oh, nice. That's on a Thursday, right?
It's on the 4th of January.
Yeah, it's a Thursday.
Yeah,
interesting.
So, looking forward to doing that. I'm going to see if I can somehow get a New Japan account before then or something. I just got to watch it somewhere.
But, I'm sure we'll be able to figure something out. Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of concerned when they first started talking about it, about Jericho going over with Omega, and it's like, yeah, that's a dream match. And then you remember, it's like, okay, but Jericho's not Jericho of 2000 anymore. He is getting older. So yep. I'm very excited to see how that goes, because like with what you said, it sounds like he's peak performance right now. I can't wait.
He seems to be running at I just noticed the way that he's moving. Like he's not slowed down. Like he's jumping up quick. Like he's not. Jericho has gone from being like Jericho to like just pulled back by 10% recently. Like he's wrestling smarter. He's still fucking nailing lion salts like perfectly.
Right.
And he's wrestling smarter. He's using what he can do now to the best of its potential. So he's not, doing Mahi Straw Cradles like when he's facing Juventud Guerrera in '98 or a bunch of springboard dropkicks, but he still does them, and he just chooses wisely. And when he's a heel, he wrestles different. He doesn't need to do that shit. Like he can just kick your head on the floor and play with you until someone gets their shine back, right?
I love it. Yeah, he's
so
genius.
I'm really excited, and Omega's going to make him look like $1 million anyways, and vice versa.
Yeah.
right? It's going to be very, very beautiful. And I don't think he's going to be even back for WWE at least till next year, or sorry, till 19. I'm going to guess.
Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah,
Because
because he.
apparently, sorry,
Sorry, what?
nope, go on.
Yeah, I'm sure that Vince knew about all this because there was talk about, oh yeah, but he's so loyal to Vince McMahon and the WWE. I'm sure that he had
Again,
already
not
told.
with rumor and innuendo. From what I heard out of Jericho's mouth was on JR's podcast, and he said that he told Vince, and he just said that he just let him know what he's going to do, and Vince was very supportive, and that's just it. He just thanks for letting me know, kind of thing. I don't know the details. Jericho is very sparse with details,
Yeah.
because he said he doesn't like to like spread anything. He just said Vince knew, and I got the blessing.
Well, that's great. Yeah, because like you gotta respect somebody that'll do that for you. That'll come forward and tell you, look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not hiding anything. That's definitely commendable for sure.
Yeah, and I believe it was Don Callis who actually had the whole thing put together. Like it was him, Jericho, and Omega, like three Winnipeg boys.
Yeah, there you go. The Battle of Winnipeg.
You idiot! Yeah.
From Winnipeg, you idiot.
I love that. I wish I was that guy. Well,
I know,
not to
right?
be that dumb, but for him to scream that at me would have been great.
Yeah, what was it? Go back
Go
to
back
Toronto.
to Toronto.
Yeah.
From Winnipeg, you idiot. And then the best part was that Jericho, like, he heard it, and then he's walking, and then he stopped before he went to the apron, turned around, and then screamed it at him. He's like, wait, what? Fuck you.
Did I really just hear that?
How dare you? Did you get a chance to watch the Broken Matt or Woken Matt Bray Hardy? Oh my God! Did you get a chance to watch the Woken Matt Bray Wyatt segment?
Oh yeah, for sure I did. Yeah, that was great.
What'd you think?
Loved it. I thought it was really well done, and I know we had talked about it before. Like I think it was at the bar or something like
Yep.
that. We were talking about it. They didn't. They had Bray so perfectly polished, and then Matt just frizzy haired in front of a wrinkled backdrop. I thought
Yeah.
like everything about it was just
Bad
it was
lighting,
genius.
like,
oh, it was just genius. I loved it.
It looked like you edited a WWE segment and a TNA segment.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
It's so good. They even iron out the parts of the curtain and everything. It was overexposed. Bray Wyatt looks like a Hollywood, cinematographer, or sorry, like lit, a Hollywood lit kind of like shot.
Yeah, yeah.
And just the timing of the editing of his ridiculous laugh. And someone did an edit of 10 hours of Matt Hardy laughing.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I'm like, it was just so well done. I love the fact that guy, like, that goes to show you, I never really got into him as like a character. I didn't know what he was capable of. And now to think that where he's gone with this character and to really show everybody like how like committed he is to character, how funny and off the cuff that he is with dialogue, and what he can do with his facials and his voice, and what he's so charismatic and so good on the mic. Where I'm like, that's not the same Matt Hardy that I fucking remember.
Oh,
like
God,
it's
no.
years he's like completely broken my oh Christ. There you go. Broke my perception of him. I'm just like, I can't believe that's the same guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and what? Come on, he's meditated atop the pyramid of Giza.
Yeah, Dances Cleopatra. But like, and I followed the whole run through TNA when it was happening. Like, I watched it when it was going on. I followed it, and I couldn't believe it then. And then when I see him come back to WWE, and he's got to play the role, he kind of sounds like he's still from fucking Cameron, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And then he throws out the little thing, and then right when he flips that switch, he goes completely broken. Like, he becomes and looks like a different person. It's scary.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch it during TNA. I didn't see any of it. Like I'd watch recaps of it, and that I didn't follow right along with it. And like you said, it's great to see him coming out from what would you say, Jeff's shadow, and taking the forefront of the team. And I just hope that when Jeff's ready to come back, he comes back as Brother Nero and just like a subservient type character, and just let his brother take the reins of the team. I think it's great, and I can't wait to see how it goes.
Where do you think the Wyatt feud is going to go? Besides burying Bray.
Yeah, I think they have to. Matt's got to take this feud. Well, I guess this is where we'll see how far or how much confidence they have in the character on itself, in the way that they do this. This program, because like it's just too beautiful not to do. Like it's it's great.
Tonight's going to be the night. I think he's debuting tonight as Broken Matt Hardy on Raw.
It's going to be great.
His pop that he got with it as well. Like, he's so over. It's crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, did they wait too long? Did they wait too long?" I don't think so. I think a good character is going to be good no matter what. It's just what it is, and I think it's like a lot of respect to the TNA or Impact Wrestling, sorry, for letting this go.
Yeah, and at the same, exactly, like, it's really, hats off to them for just kind of like, you know what, we just got to build our own thing, stop hanging on to whatever past IPs or whatever like that. And
yeah,
and I think waiting this long for Matt to maybe just get back to the WWE style of wrestling, getting used to that ring again, kind of like just they've been over, but getting reacquainted with everybody, and then everyone waiting for it.
Yeah.
And not doing a bastardized version of it if that never happened. And look what happened. They Anthem gave over the rights to it, and now we can see the proper version of it. So the wait was worth it. Yeah. And obviously people do care still, because the hits and the reaction have just been, you can't really deny them.
Yeah, exactly. It's great, and I can't wait to see what happens.
What would be cool if he defeats Bray and then he just breaks? Bray needs a rehaul, dude. So maybe he just goes with Bray as like his mule.
Yeah, I'd even put Bray back in NXT for a while.
You think so? Like with Ziggler or some shit?
Oh God, there's another one.
Yes, lost in the shuffle.
He did an interview. I was reading online where he says, "Yeah, I think that my losses really hurt my character." No shit, man.
Really?
Didn't
been
see
losing
that
for like 3 years straight.
I had the network on in the background doing a workout the other day, and they had an old pay-per-view on, and I think it was like from 2014 or 2013, and it was Dolph Ziggler, and it was the same exact character.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh God.
Yeah.
And he's got talent. It's just,
he's a great wrestler.
He
man.
really is. The only problem that I've ever had with him is that I find that he tries too hard. Sometimes.
You mean in bumping?
In bumping, in moves, in his character, everything. He's trying too hard. It just doesn't feel like it's coming natural to him. If he just just kind of shifted down a little bit.
What would his character be? Because his characters to me is just that show off. He's trying to be Shawn Michaels light, I guess, right?
Yeah. I've always thought that he should just like do away with the Dolph Ziggler and just come out as Nick.
Yeah,
screw this.
Name
Nick
is
Nemeth.
awful.
It was right from the get-go, but they really went with it, and he's had a lot of success. Like, not taking anything away from him.
That's true.
It's just I would love to see him repackaged in a way, and not just like take away my music. I'm just going to walk out. Fine, whatever. That's great. Well, then do a complete overhaul. I'd love to see it, because he does have the talent and he has the fan base for sure, but. I don't know. I think he might benefit from a run on the Indies even.
Do a Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, look at that guy. Come on.
Yeah.
He's reinvigorated his career. He's having the best matches of his life. He's part of the hottest group since, God, I don't know when. Like, he's phenomenal. He's doing such a great job. No offense, AJ.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, that's what happens when you let guys just do their thing, and which used to be, more of a regular acquaintance in wrestling, or in WWE at least, is like, let Cody do what he wants to do. And look what kind of a asshole of a heel and the suit wearing kind of gimmick, and being obviously riding with the Bullet Club. It's just been on his own terms, and it's just been the result of when you let guys like do what they want to do and be themselves, just turn up to 11.
Yeah.
It's been really good to watch him kind of flirt. It's been a year now since he left, eh?
Oh my God, yeah, I guess so.
You know what I mean?
It was Stardust, right?
Yeah, I know. And you know what? He owned that shit too, but he doesn't want to be doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, yeah, it's good to see him. I think Dolph would benefit. Or sorry, he would benefit a lot if he just kind of left. When is this contract up? Do you even know?
Not a clue.
Not a clue. Yeah. So it would be cool if he went and like did the rounds and did some New Japan, did some ROH, did just bounce around, join the Bullet Club. Fuck it.
There you go.
That seems to be kind of like the breeding ground for what to do. Like when you leave, just kind of do that and then break away. Like it's kind of like maybe it's an easy answer, maybe that's not the greatest idea, but maybe go against it. Just align yourself with whatever those guys are doing. Try to emulate that, because it seems to be working. Like, you travel around, interpromotional, everything. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to see. Speaking of Bullet Club, I'd like to see Neville go there.
Yeah.
Because
What is
supposedly
he doing?
the talks have stopped. Like they were trying to get him to come back, and from what I've read, it's they've been put on hold right now. But
Oh,
like that guy again,
yeah,
he took just a mediocre character and made
yeah.
it into the one of the best heels in the company.
He was
And
really good at it too.
oh my God, so good, and he's so talented. Like I read that he was supposed to be. They were hoping to bring him back onto SmackDown out of the cruiserweight division and just be on SmackDown on the main roster. But from what I've read, it's on hold right now. So
Okay, yeah. Well, if he does come back, I look forward to seeing him. That guy's way too talented to not be wrestling, and he seems very passionate about it too. He
yeah,
takes it very seriously, and as he should, because you can see when they kind of give him that kind of king of the cruiserweights and angry asshole chasing for the belt or keeping his belt. Like I believed him. He's obviously his wrestling is you don't even have to bring that up. Like that guy's just a complete rock star.
yeah, amen to that.
But his promos were really great. His facials, everything. Like he really just walked like a complete dick and owned it because he was good at what he did, and everything he cared about was that belt. Which is,
Agreed.
God forbid, what you should be doing. Like it's yeah. So if he does come back, that'd be great. And if he wants to go somewhere else and shine on the indies, then that would be amazing for the independent circuits as well. Like it'd be great to have that star power there to get the other guys to get a shine off him too, or
Yeah,
Rob, I should say.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the stuff from Abu Dhabi?
Excuse me, sorry, I was coughing.
Okay.
No, no. What was that all about? Oh,
Well,
that
I
was their
watched.
tour over there, right?
That's right. Yeah. Well, they had the Triple H versus Jinder match.
Oh, I heard that he was dancing or something like that.
Oh my God, dude! There's a video of it on WWE.com if you want to watch it. And he basically Triple H came out. The Jinder he was over, and everyone's like, do the picture thing. Triple H got like a double the size of pop that he did.
Oh, really?
Oh God, people. The thing is, like, I've read, like, I'm on Reddit a lot and whatever like that, and you hear like Indian fans, like, they love John Cena and Triple H and fucking Randy Orton. They couldn't give a shit about Jinder. Like, they like him and they're proud of him, but I mean, that's a subsection of the culture, and it's going to be because he is, kind of towing the Indian market kind of thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he looked like $1 million. He came out. He had this beautiful robe that one of their top Indian fashion designer, but his name escapes me now. But he looked great. But he basically went out there, and I saw a majority of the match. And Triple H is a little bit slower because he's been wrestling a lot lately, which I'm very surprised by.
Yeah.
He was carrying Jinder throughout it, and Jinder is just. He's good, but he's just not interesting. But anyways, Triple H went over as always.
Yes.
In India, which is wonderful. And then he basically he said, whatever, you've been through a lot of like kind of like scrutiny basically, and people have been kind of like hating on the fact that you were champion. He's like, I want to let you know that it's been a pleasure, and I'm proud to say that I wrestled the Mount Raj, whatever like that. Kind of put him over, say you're worthy of your position, whatever. And then he starts dancing like Bunker dancing with the Singh brothers and Jinder.
Oh, the
And
Singh
then
brothers were on that as
oh
well.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought.
yeah. So they're doing the leg lock and like the Bunker dancing in a
Yeah.
circle, and then they're like, yeah, and like, oh, happy ending, and then of course Triple H fucking boots and pedigrees fucking one of the Singh brothers into the fucking ground, and then walks out head held high. I'm like, oh my God, he buried them. Well, he didn't bury them, but like he just went out on top on the end of the Indian tour. I'm like, you son of a bitch, that was amazing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Because I thought that he was pandering to the crowd, like, oh yeah, I'm fucking doing Bunker Day, and then straight up booted him and then pedigreed him. Like that's amazing.
I don't mind the Jinder character. I thought it was all right. I think I would call it a success in my books. I thought they did a good job of elevating
For-
him, and he's
for-
really, really worked to become who he is. So
Well, they went pedal to the metal 0 to 60 so fast. Like there was no burn. So this guy had like no chance to fucking get this shit over because it was like a jobber and then here's the title. It's like, what?
yeah, well, like you remember in that SmackDown match that they had to what was it? Was it to
Stick back
declare
down
the
or
#1 champion? And
Yeah.
he was thrown into it, and you're like, oh, I know who's going to take the pin in this one.
Yeah.
And then he freaking wins the match.
But
It's
the
like,
fact that he was even in the match.
exactly,
Was
it made
weird.
no sense. Like just before in WrestleMania, he lost that battle royal to Mojo Rawley right at
Yeah.
the end, and then all of a sudden he's thrown into the main event. It's like, okay, cool, but he owned it, he went with it, and I thought he did a really good job.
For what he was given,
Yeah.
he did the best he could possibly do.
Yeah, and that's all that we can hope for
the
anybody, like
problem-
for all of us.
the problem is that like it made no sense. So what do you expect the backlash is going to be? Do you want heel heat or do you just want fuck off X-Pac heat?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's like we don't hate you because you're a heel. We hate you because we don't know why you're here.
Yeah.
Like you could have picked 9 other people to be in this position, or at least in that match to begin with. Like,
Well, even Mojo, who just won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal the night before
yeah,
or the week before.
anything, right? But so that was the problem. And again, he's worked with Tati. I feel bad for him, to be honest with you. He got to share, like, kind of bask in the success of all this stuff, and he probably felt like a rock star and fair. But the thing is, like, if they would have done it naturally, they could have got him over as a monster heel, and they would have got that character over the way they wanted to if they just waited even a month to build him. Like,
Yeah.
it's just something. But you could have got the character you would have want and been successful for the India tour if you. It still would have taken the same amount of time to get there. Like, there was a long way away from when they did it. Like, how long did he have the belt for? For like fucking like 5 months or something?
Yeah, it's true. Like, no, and you're right. Like, if they did a proper organic build for his heel character, it would have gotten over better instead of people just getting pissed off because it's like, oh wait, no, now you're just trying to shove this guy down my throat. You know, then right away the character is doomed.
Absolutely, like dead in the water. And then they could have turned him later, and then he could have beat up the Singh brothers, and you could have a face on your side after that, like down like next year or something, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very bizarre, but at the same time, you don't know what to expect in the wide world of wrestling.
Amen to that, brother.
Whatever, fuck. So yeah, it's been interesting. So yeah, those are things that I was kind of watching there, and I was I guess the things that stood out besides I guess just watching. I was going through the old archives of watching Raws from 1997, from the beginning of the Hart Foundation up into the Screwjob, basically.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, God, I miss Brett so much.
Yeah, he's great.
And Austin and I know that's a big shift, but I kind of went on a binge on 97 Raws for the last couple of days, and it's been great just to see the Owen versus Shawn Michaels and just Mankind and Dude Love transition, and just to see the how raucous everything was. Holy shit!
Yeah. It's like I said before. It's so great to watch people or superstars or wrestlers, whatever you want to call them, find their character, fall into their character, and become better and better and better. And when you speak of Bret Hart, he still has one of my favorite moments in wrestling of all time. Is he was I don't know if it was WCW or he was a heel at some point. I can't remember what it was, but the ref got bumped and fell down on his face, and Brett looked over at him and just dropped the leg on the back of his head. Yeah. It was like the greatest thing ever, like such a perfect heel. And you could see the psychology. He totally knows wrestling to do something as just microscopic as that, and just it gets him over. Oh, so beautifully! Like just
wasn't it the awesome match? I can't remember what it might have been WCW. Now, I know exactly what spot you're talking about.
Yeah, he's got one arm on the ropes, looking down at the ref, and just lets go and drops the leg on the back of his head. It's just fantastic.
Dude, he to me like the best in-ring performer of all time. That's just my personal opinion. But that people can bring up others. Like there's tons of other ones, but for me, just in terms of just little details. And also making everything look like it fucking hurt on both sides and not injuring anyone at the same time. I don't know if it gets any better than him. And him and Austin's chemistry at that time was just those. Brett was in his prime at 87, and it got all taken away from him so fast. Yeah. And it was such a crying shame.
Yeah,
but
agreed.
And I have no idea why that guy's not in the NXT Performance Center training people.
Yeah, that would be a benefit for sure.
Like there's so many guys that aren't down there. Like. I don't want to be getting trained by fucking Prince Albert. Thank you very much.
Oh, he's fantastic. What are you talking about?
Matt Bloom was never over.
No, he wasn't. But he knows what he's doing. Like, look at the people that they're turning out.
I know, but my point is, dude.
And he's a fantastic person. I met him just earlier this year.
I'm not trying to shit on him, not be whatever. But my main point is, what is the main point of becoming a wrestler? Is to get over.
Yes. No, of course.
So that dictates how you wrestle and why you wrestle. I'm not going to take fucking pointers of someone who never got over.
Well, we'll agree to disagree on that one. I
you
think
know what I mean, though? You can do all the technical shit you want to do and be really good, but if you can't figure out how to get over by knowing that shit, then it's all useless.
Oh, he's great.
I'm not saying he isn't. He just was never over.
Him and Robbie Brookside are doing wonderful things in NXT.
I know they are, but at the same time, there's a lot of reasons why a lot of these kids don't come when they get called up where they can't get over. You know what I mean? They can get over in small crowds, or at least the mindset when they get. Listen, I'm not going to pretend to know what the hell goes on behind the scenes.
Right.
I just know when I'm watching wrestling from a lot of people they're pumping out from there, the psychology is so all over the place, and they're doing so much. And but I guess that's just the way things have changed. I told you, I'm an old school curmudgeon with a lot of stuff. Like I'm still thinking that DDT is a finish. So
a lot of people use it as a finish still.
I know. Who do you think? Rude's got it as a finish, right?
That's Rude's got it. Ambrose still uses the double underhook DDT. Alexa Bliss.
Right.
Yeah.
Who's got the best DDT right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
I'd probably say Alexa Bliss.
Interesting.
Oh, and if you want to go even like the Rampage pages, that's pretty much a DDT. Right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's
okay.
Beautiful. I love that. All time is Jake the Snake, though, of course.
Jake the Snake for sure, and I really like Raven's even flow as well.
Oh my God! Don't even start. Raven's so awesome.
Dude, that is such a goddamn breakthrough. Like a character in general, that guy deserves so much credit than what he's given.
Yeah, he's number 3 on my list. My number 1 favorite is Shawn Michaels. Number 2, CM Punk. Number 3, Raven. Love
so
it.
You weren't a big WCW guy. So did you watch his WCW run?
Yeah. Well, I saw bits and pieces of it. I went back to it. I guess I was watching it a little bit because when I was in my 20s during the heyday in that, I was living with a buddy of mine and one of my fellow workers. I was at a what do you call it? We were making boxes, a cardboard factory.
A box factory.
A box factory. Yeah, and it's exactly like that. There's a yellow line going around everywhere. We used to call it houses for the homeless, but no. One of my good friends that worked there, he was a huge WCW fan, so I saw a lot of it, and that's where I first became aware of it. I didn't watch any of the ECW stuff or anything like that, but then you even look back, the matches that he had with CM Punk and ROH. Oh my God, they were just phenomenal. The steel cage match, the dog collar match, just such good stuff.
Yeah, you got to go back, watch him versus Dreamer, and you got to see in WCW he had some great feuds with Benoit and Page.
Ooh, yes, okay.
Oh okay. God, Spring Stampede '98. There's a bunch of
WWE Network, here I come.
Yeah, Uncensored '98 as well. There's a bunch of shit in there, but and him teaming with Perry Saturn and Canyon a lot back then was fucking great too.
Who's better than Canyon?
Nobody. I miss that guy, man.
It's
a shame what happened to him. Yeah, he was a great wrestler. That guy could bump like nobody's business. Yeah, man. Jeez. So I guess we just did a little free for all at the end there, right?
Yeah, why not? I'm freezing.
I love it. Maybe at least people get the. Yeah, you got to turn the heat back on, brother. the podcast is going and bringing the levels of the house down. Well, that's good though. At least we get to let people know, at least kind of, even though I babbled way too, I get too excited talking and I trip over my own words. So I got to slow down. So at least people get to know our personalities a little bit and, I don't know, give them a little bit of taste of a taste to what we want to give them, you know?
Yeah. And seriously, everybody out there, since October 30th, I may have taken a step away and stayed a bit silent, but I've always been there and I've always been watching. I've always been listening and I never stop believing. I believe in every single one of you out there. I believe in the product. I believe in us. Call to Arms is exactly that. It's a call to arms for all of us to throw away the bullshit, throw away the hate, the animosity, and embrace the beauty that is pro wrestling. Come together, make the pro wrestling industry the amazing place we remember it to be. It's your call to arms. I believe in every one of you, and I'm here. I always have been, and I can't wait. This is going to be a lot of fun.
We're just getting started. So everything that we just talked about, we're going to move forward with, and we're going to figure out new stuff along the way. I'd love to do a lot of original pieces of artwork and contests and anything that. Another thing we forgot to talk about is interviews that we'd like to get as well, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, any talent that you might know, Dave, or anyone that we can get. It'd be kind of cool to get some guests in here to kind of pick their brain about what's going on in their world.
Without a doubt, we'll be working on that, and I'm sure it'll happen. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, so I guess that's us signing off for episode 1. We'll see you later.
Hey, if you're in the Toronto area, you can always come see me at Bryden's. We're at 2455 Bloor Street West, right at the corner of Jane and Bloor, right across the street from the Jane subway station. You can follow us there at Bryden's on Bloor, and follow me at Bartender Dave 74.
Visit calltoarmspodcast.com and follow us on Twitter at calltoarmspod.